let me add the script section. Okay, and let me specify $document.ready because I'm writing the code in jQuery. $document.ready. We can actually implement this in pure JavaScript as well. I'm implementing it using jQuery. Okay, and within this, let me add the function open and close parenthesis, open and close curly braces. And here, what I need to do, on the click of the start button, we first have to change the text to stop, and also we need to start the stopwatch, right? So let me specify $btn click. So once this button is clicked, let me specify function open and close parenthesis, open and close curly braces. And within this, let me check if $this.html equals start, which means that the button clicked is having the text start. In that case, what we need to do, we first have to change the text, that is $this.html as stop, and we need to start the timer. So let me call a function named update time to update the time, that is to start the time. Okay, and when the text is not start, that is if the text is stop, in that case what we need to do, we need to change the text back to start, and also we need to stop the timer, right? So we need to do something to start the timer and stop the timer. We will do it later, but for the time being, let me check else if $this.html equals stop. In that case, what we will have to do, we will have to stop the timer and also change the text back to start. So let me copy this and paste it here and change this to start. And here we will just specify stop the timer. So we will have to do something there so that we can stop the timer. Now let us write the update time function, right? So this is getting ended here. So let me write the function after this, function update time. And within this, what we need to do, we are going to use the set interval method, which can be used to execute a function or a set of code at specified intervals. Okay, and the set interval method will return an ID which needs to be used when we need to stop the execution. So let me specify, let me have a global variable here where interval, okay, and suppose I specify interval equals, I'm going to use a set interval method, and within this, as a first parameter, we need to specify the function which should be executed repeatedly at specified interval, and the second one should be the interval in milliseconds. So suppose I just specify function open and close parenthesis and curly braces, and let me specify the interval as 1000, which means 1 second. So as this value is in milliseconds, 1000 milliseconds means 1 second, right? Now suppose I specify console.log hello plus, suppose I have another variable clicked equal to 0, and here if I specify hello and plus clicked here, and after this if I specify clicked plus plus, then what will happen? Let me save this and show you. As we are calling the update function on the click of the start button, let me first go to the console, more tools and developer tools. Okay, let me click the start button because we have called the update time function within the click of this button, right? So let me click start. See, hello 0, hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4, like that it goes on. So this function is getting executed at an interval of 1 second, right? Let me refresh this, otherwise it will go on and on. So I'm going to use this set interval method offered by JavaScript to execute a function repeatedly at specified interval. Now suppose instead of 1000, if I specify 100, what will happen? It will be executed every 100 millisecond. That is, in 1 second, there will be 10 executions. Let me save this and show you. Let me click the start button. See, it is going very fast because the specified time interval is now 100 milliseconds. Now let me clear the outline of these buttons and also specify cursor to be pointer. Let me refresh this just to do some styling. Okay, for button, let me specify outline to be none. Otherwise, that blue border will be there once the button is clicked. And also let me specify the cursor to be pointer just to have some appealing look. Okay. Now let me save this. And here what I'm going to do is that let me specify where start time equals date.now. What will be returned by this date.now? It will return the current time in milliseconds. Okay. So this will be returning the current time in milliseconds. Now let me delete this clicked variable. We don't want that. Let me have another variable named time gap. Okay. And within this, let me remove this. And within this, what I'm going to specify is that time gap equals date.now minus start time. So what will be returned when we subtract the start time from the current time? It will be the time gap. That is, when we click the button, the start time will be set as date.now. Then at a gap of 100 milliseconds, we are executing this line of code, means this will be the current time minus the started time. So it will be like 1 millisecond, 2, like that it will go, right? If you want, let me show you that. Let me specify console.log time gap and save this and show you. Let me click start. See, it is being called at every 100 millisecond. So it is actually giving the stopwatch time. Hope you understand what we are trying to do here. Let me refresh this and explain it once again. I have specified the start time as date.now. That is, as and when we click the button, the start time, that is the current time in milliseconds, will be saved in the start time variable. And when we are specifying time gap equal to date.now minus start time, what is happening is that at every 100 millisecond gap, we are subtracting the current time with the start time. So the start time is the time at which the button was clicked. Okay. So this time gap will give us the time which we can use to display in our stopwatch.